So in science, failure, if you're trying an experiment, you are seeking failure because you want to know what works and what doesn't work. But it's not really failure, is it? It's just experimental findings. So I think in an environment, if you can decide what failure means to you, is it an experiment? Is it a risk to the company's survival? And decide on different types of failure. You don't want repeated failure, for instance, because you don't want to keep making the same mistake forever. You don't want to keep invading the wrong country. I think this would be best to avoid. So you have to make a distinction between failure that can be beneficial and failure that would be best avoided, and treat it differently so that people continue to learn. And then give maybe people rewards for sharing is another good example. You know, the failure of the week, the cock up of the day are ways of doing it. But it can't just be performative, because if it becomes shallow, people know that you're only sharing failures that you're happy to share. I think far better to talk about maybe experimentation and learning than just encourage failure. And we are just about to head into an efficiency period for the whole world. And I think you'll hear less about fast failure and more about justifying your job. So I don't want to mislead people into thinking simplistically that it's always a good idea. But what I will say is that people who are bold and say fail twice but succeed once big get promoted more often than people who never have failures and never have successes. So sometimes safe is not safe.